So now we will be starting up with our chapter number 5, which is called the later mural traditions, the paintings. Um, to begin with, even after Ajanta, very few sites with paintings have survived which provide valuable evidences to reconstruct a tradition of paintings. It may also be noted that the sculpture too were plastered and paintings, traditions of cave excavations continued further at many places where sculpting and paintings were done simultaneously. So Badami was basically ruled by the Chalukya dynasty in the state of present-day Karnataka. We can see the queen in attendance at Badami, Karnataka. I've noticed that these, most of them wear a headscarf, which is like a turban. Okay, coming back to Badami. One such site is Badami in the state of Karnataka. Badami was the capital of the early Chalukya dynasty, which ruled the region from 543 to 598 CE. They came after the Vakataka. With the decline of the Vakataka rule, the Chalukya established their power in the Deccan. The Chalukya king Mangalesha patronized the excavation of the Badami caves. He was the younger son of Chalukya king Pulakesi the first and the brother of Kirtivarman the first. So I believe that Harshavardhana tried attacking down south but was prevented by the same Pulakesan. Correct me if I'm wrong. The inscription of the cave 4 mentions the date 578 to 579 CE, describing the beauty of the cave and includes the dedication of the image of Vishnu. Now we have shifted down to the Vaishnavite tradition. Thus, it may be presumed that the cave was excavated in the same era as the Patron records with Vaishnava affliction. Therefore, the cave is popularly known as the Vishnu cave. Only a fragment of the painting has survived on the vaulted roof of the front mandapa. Painting in this cave depicts palace scenes. One shows Kirti Varman, the son of Pulakeshi I and the elder brother of Mangalesha, seated inside the palace with his wife and feudatories watching the dance scene. Towards the corner of the panel are figures of Indra and his retinue. Stylistically speaking, the painting represents an extension of the tradition of mural painting from Ajanta itself to Badami to the South India. The sinuously drawn lines, fluid forms, and compact composition exemplify the proficiency and maturity an artist had achieved in the 6th century CE. The gracefully drawn face of the king and the queen remind us of the style of modeling in Ajanta. Their eye sockets are large, eyes are half closed, and lips are protruding. It is noteworthy to observe that the contours of different parts of the face create protruding structures of the face itself. Thus, the simple line treatment artists could create volumes. Look at this one. This is called Sitan Vasal, the early Pandya period from 9th century. Look at the lotus leaves, the figures, the gentleness, the fingers. Again, lotus is one of the prominent props here. Murals under Pandavas, Pallavas, and Cholas. The Pallavas were, those who built the Mahabalipuram, and then there are Pandavas, and then there are Cholas near the, what do you say, Padurai, I believe? Yeah. The tradition of the painting extended further down south in Tamil Nadu in the preceding centuries with regional variations during the regimes of Pallava, Pandya and Chola dynasty. The Pallava king who succeeded the Chalukya kings in the parts of the south India were also patrons of art. Mahendra Varma I, who ruled in 7th century, was responsible for building temples at Panamalai, Mandagapattu and Kanchipuram. The inscriptions at the Mandagapattu mentions Mahendravarman the First with numerous titles such as Vichitra Chitta, Curious Minded, Chitra Karapuli, Tiger Among Artists, Chaityakari, the temple builder, which shows his interest in art activities. The paintings in these temples too were done at his initiative, though only fragments remain. The Panna Malai figure of a female divinity is drawn gracefully. Paintings at the Kanchipuram temple were patronized by Pallava king Rajshima. Only traces of paintings remain now which depict Somaskanda. Faces are round and large, lines are rhythmic with increased ornamentation when compared with the paintings of an earlier period. Depiction of torso still remained like the earliest sculptural tradition but is elongated. When the Pandya came to power, they too patronized art. Thrimullapuram caves and Jaina caves at Sitanvansal are some of the surviving examples. A few fragmented layers of paintings can be seen at Tirumalaipuram. In Sitanvansal, the paintings are visible on the ceiling of shrines in the verandas on the brackets. So, I come from the central region, which is why it's difficult for me to comprehend what these particular words in South India might mean, and I might take time grasping the meaning of these words, the nomenclature that they are using. On the pillars at the veranda are seen dancing figures of celestial nymphs. The contours of figures are firmly drawn and painted in vermilion red on a lighter background. The body is rendered in yellow with subtle modeling, supple limbs, expressions on the faces of dancers, rhythm in their swing movements, or speak of the artist's skill in the creative imagination in visualizing the forms in um, the architectural contexts. This is Devi from 7th century Pannamalai. Look at her eyes, big sockets, half closed, her lips, her elongated nose, her soft, curvaceous torso, the jewels, the headgear. Everything speaks of her is so feminine. The eyes are slightly elongated and the times protrude of the face. The features is observed in many subsequent paintings in Deccan and South India. The tradition of building temples and embellishing them with carvings and paintings continued during the reign of Chola king who ruled over the region from the 9th and the 13th century. They were a big naval power as far as I am aware. But it was in the 11th century when the Chola reached their zenith power that masterpieces of the Chola art and architecture began to appear. The temples of Brihadeshwara at Tanjavur, Gangaikonda, Cholapuram, and Dharasuram in Tamil Nadu were built during the reigns of Rajaraja Chola, his son Rajendra Chola, and Raj Raja Chola II, respectively. Through the Chola paintings are seen in Nartamalai. The most important are those in Brihadeshwara temple. Paintings were excluded on the walls of the narrow passage surrounding the shrines. 2 layers of paintings were found when they were discovered. The upper layer was painted during the Nayak period in the 16th century thanks to the cleaning of surface paintings. Examples of great tradition of paintings during the Chola period were unveiled. The paintings show narrations in aspects related to Lord Shiva, Shiva in Kailasha, Shiva as Tripura Nataka, Shiva as Nataraja, a portrait of the patron Rajaraja and his mentor Kuruvar, dancing figures, etc. Vijayanagara murals. Dakshina Murti, Vijayanagara Lepakshi. The paintings of Brihadeshwara temple exemplify the stylistic maturity. The artist evolved over the years, sinuous, predetermined flow of lines, supple modeling of the figures, elongation of the physiognomic features of human figures. All these represent the perfection the Chola artist achieved during the period on the one hand and the phase of the transition on the other. With the decline of the power of the Chola dynasty in 13th century, the Vijayanagara dynasty, 14th century captured and brought under the control of the region of Hampi to Trichy, with Hampi serving as the capital. Many paintings survive in a number of temples. The temple of Tiruparakunaram near Trichy, done in the 14th century, represent the early phase of Vijayanagara style. In Hampi, the Virupaksha temple has paintings on the ceilings of its mandapa narrating events from dynastic history and episodes from Ramayana and Mahabharata. Among the important panels are the ones which show um, Vidya Ranaya, the spiritual teacher of Bukkaraya Harsha, being carried in a palki in a procession, and incarnations of Vishnu. The faces of figures are shown in profile with large frontal eyes. The figures have narrow waist. In Lepakshi near Hindupur, in present Andhra Pradesh, there is glorious example of Vijayanagara paintings on the walls of the Shiva temple. In keeping with the tradition, the Vijayanagara painters evolved a pictorial language wherein the faces are shown in profile and figures and objects two-dimensionally. Lines become still but fluid. Composition appear in rectilinear compartments. These stylistic conventions of the preceding centuries were adopted by the artist in various centers in South India as well as seen in the paintings of Nayakas period. Painting of the Nayaka dynasty in the 17th and the 18th century are seen as Tiruparkunaram, Sringam, and Tiruvarur in Tamil Nadu. I haven't really read the history of South India, which is why it's a struggle for me to understand. In Tiruparakunaram, paintings are found of different periods of the 14th and the 17th century. Early paintings depict scenes from the life of Vardhaman Mahavira. The Nayaka painting depicts episodes from the Mahabharata and Ramayana and also scenes from the Krishna Leela. In Tiruvarur, there is a panel narrating the story of Muchukunda. In Chandidambaram, there are panels of paintings narrating stories related to Shiva and Vishnu. Shiva as Bhikshantana Murti, Vishnu as Mohini, etc. Mohini is the feminine version of Vishnu. In this painting, this is the ladies attending Parvati Virbhadra temple at Lepakshi. The Nayaka paint, we're done with the Nayaka painting part. In the Sri Krishna temple at Chengam in Arcot, which is in Tamil Nadu, in northern part district, there are 60 panels narrating the story of Ramayana, which represent the late phase of Nayaka painting. The example cited above suggests the Nayaka paintings were more or less an extension of the Vijayanagara style with minor regional modification and incorporation. The figures, mostly in profile, are set against a flat background. The male figures are shown slim-waisted but with less heavy abdomen as compared with those in Vijayanagara. The artist, as in the previous centuries and following traditions, has tried to infuse movements and make the space dynamic. The paintings of Nataraja at Tiruvallanjuli is a good example. Now we are back to the Kerala murals. Venugopal Sri Rama Temple, Triprayar. Right, I'm not sure if I really understand the tradition. The Kerala painters during the period from the 16th to the 18th century evolved a pictorial language and technique of their own while discriminately adopting certain stylistic elements from Nayaka and Vijayanagara schools. The painters evolved a language taking cues from the contemporary tradition like Kathakali and Kalam Ezuthu, ritual floor painting of Kerala, using vibrant and luminous colors and representing human figures in three-dimensionality. Most of the paintings are seen on the walls of shrine and cloister walls of the temples and some inside palaces, thematically too. Paintings from Kerala stand apart. Most of the narrations are based on the episodes from Hindu mythology, which were popular in Kerala. The artists seem to have derived sources from oral traditions and local versions of Ramayana and Mahabharata for painted narration. More than 60 sites have been founded with mural paintings, which include three palaces: Dutch Palace in Kochi, Krishnapuram Palace in Kayamkulam, and Padmanabharapuram Palace. Among the sites where one can only see the mature phase of the Kerala's mural painting traditions are Pundarikapuram Krishna Temple, Panayanar Kavu, Thirukodi Triprayar, Sri Rama Temple, and Thisur Vandakunathan Temple. Like, if I understood some Malayali, I would have easily interpreted what these terms mean, but I think I'll have to do a further reading um, in order for me to explain, like how I did a study on the Buddhist uh, art at Ajanta and Ellora. This is a picture depicting Krishna playing a flute accompanied by Gopikas at Krishna temple. Um, right. Even today, we observe that mural paintings on interior and walls of houses in villages or havelis is prevalent in different parts of the country. These paintings are usually made by women either at the time of ceremonies or festivals or as routine to clean and decorate the walls. Some of the traditional forms of murals are Pithoro in part of Rajasthan and Gujarat, Mithila paintings in northern Bihar's Mithila region, Worli paintings in Maharashtra, or simply paintings on the walls, be it in a village of Odisha or Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, or Chhattisgarh. And what are the main features of Badami cave paintings? They've been directed from they have been borrowed from the Ajanta style, um, mostly. What write an essay on Vijayanagara paintings? Not at the moment. Describe the mural traditions of Kerala and Tamil Nadu, which have been discriminately adopted from the Nayaka style and the Vijayanagara style. And there's Arcot. So I guess we're done with this chapter. We'll have to do some more reading. Yes, thank you.